Okay, this question's from the Unit 6 review, but it's about radicals. So if we see a problem like this, we might be used to a problem without two square root terms, right? So here's the problem that's up here. If you had this, it'd be pretty easy, right? You'd square both sides, you get y plus 5 equals 1 squared, which is 1, and then you get y equals negative 4, right? So negative 4 there. That gets you square root of 1 equals 1, and that's easy. But that's not the case. We have two square roots, and it's hard to square both sides, right? That won't immediately get rid of this, because if we square both sides, we'll have to FOIL this whole thing, and then we'll get some combination of square roots, and that's not exactly going to help us. So I recommend trying to get one of these on one side and one of these on the other. And if you had a third, that'd be even more complicated, but we're not even going to think about that right now. So I'd say the first step, again, and also with math, let me just throw this out there, is that I didn't immediately know how to do this, but I tried it twice. Actually, I got the wrong answer the first time, and I tried it again, and I got the right answer. So it's a matter of just saying, hey, I'm going to try something. And the first thing I did was literally to try to square both sides, and I FOILed this. And when you FOIL it, right, you get y plus 5 minus 2 of the product of this and this. So it's like root y plus 5 square root y minus 4, and then minus y plus 4. Oh, sorry, minus y, oh no, plus, it's plus y plus 4 equals 1. So that's what I got at first, and that actually, if I had done it a little more carefully, might have worked. But it's important just to try something. And then I realized there's a much easier way. So what I'm going to do first is to add this to the other side, right? So let's add this to both sides. So we'll add this, and we'll get plus, right? Just add it to the other side. Okay, now I want to square both sides, and let's see what I get. So this side is easy, this y plus 5. If I square it, it's just y plus 5. And then that equals, again, now let's write out the definition of, copy that. Let's write out the definition of this squared. So that squared equals it times itself, so that equals this. Oh, let's do that on the next line. Format, align it, equal sign. Oh, no. All right, never mind. Okay, so that equals y plus 5 equals that times that. Okay, make sure to write it out so we can FOIL it. Right, so FOIL, y plus 5. And don't be afraid to use paper. This can take up a lot of lines. As you can see, it's not a 1 or 2 line problem. And so it's harder to do in your head, so I recommend doing it all out on a piece of scratch paper. Okay, again, so let's FOIL. 1 times 1 is 1. First outer, so let's do 1 times y minus 4, so that's minus square root y minus 4, and then the same we'll do inner y minus 4 times 1, so that's, oh sorry, this is plus, there's no minus here. So that's plus that again, plus this y minus 4 again, and then y minus 4 times y minus 4, the last term is just plus y minus 4. Y minus 4. Okay, so this should be the same. All we did, this is the equation we started with. We added this term to both sides, so we got a positive root y minus 4 on this side. We'll square both sides, the square drops here, and we write out the definition of what the other side means. We FOIL it. And now let's combine like terms. So let's see, we have a minus 4 here, a 1 here, and a 5 here. So 1 plus negative 4 is negative 3, and we'll add that to both sides, right? So that's y plus 8. Again, if you see it, or you can add 4 to both sides, that gets 9 here, and then subtract 1, that's 8. Okay, and if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause this video, do it with me, and try it on your own. Okay, so y plus 8, and that will equal 2 times root y minus 4, right? So this is root y minus 4 plus root y minus 4, which is 2y minus 4. And we have a plus y here. And you notice this, if we subtract y from both sides, these y's cancel. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And this should be right so far. This is what you should have. And again, feel free to pause this video, try it with me on your own. And again, we can simplify a little here. We can divide the whole thing by 2, right? They're both even numbers, so we'll divide everything by 2. We get 4 equals root y minus 4. And then we're at a point where this looks a lot more like something you should know. This is something pretty easy. So let's square both sides. 16 equals y minus 4, right? The square root goes away when you square it. And now let's add 4 to both sides. 20 equals y. And that should be our answer. And again, with square roots, you always have to check. And this looks like it will probably be okay because we're just checking in the original problem if we'd get a negative number. And you can see if y is 20, we'll never get a negative number under the square root. And that's really what you're checking for. So that's root 25 minus root 16. So root 25 is 5. Root 16 is 4. So that's 5 minus 4 equals 1. And of course, that's right. And so that's checking our answer. And hopefully this helped. And please, again, rewind this video and do it with me on your own. It should help. And please email me if you have any more questions. I'm happy to help.